Hi everyone. How you all doing? I mean, this question becomes really relevant now. How are you all? So, it's been a wild ride, you know. Like I mentioned in my last video, the first part of this, I I ignored the news really. I don't know if I wasn't in denial. I just didn't want to focus on it so much. And I was keeping my mind focused on what it is that I really wanted to focus on. And for a while, I was, really in good shape. And at one point, it got so loud, the news got so loud that I had to start paying attention. And what happened at that point is that I really started to pay attention because my character is a research character and I want to get to the bottom of it. And so I got seriously hooked into the news. And I remember that at one point when I was in the world of finance, I remember there was a year when I was particularly into the newspapers and the news and reading the Financial Times and just really getting to the crux of things. And I remember that was a year in which I felt really heavy. And I realized that we've got to really sort of balance out knowing the news that's relevant with with submerging our mind with information that is not necessarily what we would choose. So over the years, I've become more and more and more conscious, more and more and more selective about what I actually choose to read, watch, allow into my consciousness. Because obviously this is something that I share. It's something that I teach. I'm all about mindset, and I think a big part of our mindset is to protect ourselves in terms of the information that we allow, the words that we allow into our world, because words are super powerful. The words are creative. Um, so I've gotten a little bit into the news and understanding every little detail of what's going on and so on. And of course, during that phase, I noticed it was sort of a week where my energy was dropping and dropping and dropping because I was so focused on that. So today's video is about self-care and what self-care looks like right now. And I felt it was very important to make this video because I've been making sense of this as I go along as well. Like all of us, we're dealing with a new normal, something that none of us in this generation has not known um, anything this serious, anything this major. And so we're all sort of figuring our way through it. And as we do that, as we figure our way through it, I thought I'd share three things that are really worth keeping in mind. And they were reminders that I had to put in place because obviously I'm having to use my tools on full drive at the moment. It's kind of like, okay, which tool shall we dig out today? And I have to tell you that I've fluctuated too. So, and this is my work, and it's a lot. I mean, we're all taking on a lot at this juncture. So, I wanted to share what has been helpful to me and what I believe will be helpful to you as well. And I believe that self care begins with the words that we're actually speaking to ourselves. So, if we're perfectionists, if we've been brought up to be the good girl, the good person, the good this, then we're going to be we might be quite tough on ourselves during this time, expecting more of us. And there was a point where even I was sharing, the photos of what Newton has done during his downtime at home during the plague. But I think we have to lower those expectations at this juncture and really be accepting of where we're at energetically and how we're coping with what's going on, because our coping mechanisms are going to be very different. For some people, being super busy is going to be a coping mechanism. For someone else, it might be just not even wanting to get up, get out of bed, just wanting to veg and relax and do nothing for a while. And so wherever the spectrum takes you in terms of how you're feeling, allow yourself to feel whatever it is that you're feeling at that point. So don't skip a feeling. Don't go from I'm feeling sad, but I should be grateful. Don't do that skip. Stay with I'm feeling sad for a moment, because I was a championess of skipping feelings. And because I was doing the work I did, I was very much into like, let's shift it into gratitude, let's shift it into empowerment, let's shift it into the lesson. But there is a moment to feel before we can proceed to the next, to the next, to the learning, to the lessons, to the empowerment. There really has to be a moment to feel it, because if we don't, if we resist the feeling, then it's going to stay embedded in our system, and it would pitch up in terms of health blockages, whether they be migraines or they be backache or however they're going to manifest. So it's very important that we allow ourselves to feel whatever it is we're feeling. If we're feeling scared, we're feeling scared for a moment. If we're feeling anxious, we're feeling anxious for a moment. And we're going to, I'm going to help you navigate out of that. But I think the first step is really to feel it and to be kind to yourself at that point. So think of this phase that we're going through, that we're, or this stage rather, that we're all kind of learning about, this sort of new normal. Think of it as you would a kid who's learning how to walk, and the kid is wobbly and he's falling over, and you're not going to go up to the kid and be like, you silly thing, why can't you walk? That's your last one. No, you're going to be like, hey, you're doing great, that's fantastic, let's try it again. Oh my gosh, that's fantastic. So speak to yourself like that. You're doing the best you can. And really, I'm so proud of you for getting this done today. Whatever this is, if it's the most minor thing, you did the laundry. Okay, great. That was a project, So just be super, super, super kind to yourself as you feel the feelings. And as you go through this first stage of just accepting what's going on. So I shared in my newsletter last week, I shared an article that I loved, that I read in the Harvard Business Review, based on David Kessler's grief, his work on grief and the different stages we go through in grief, and how it's not linear. And the being in denial is one stage, the being scared is one stage, and it's fascinating. I'll share the link in this blog as well, so you can check it out. And so basically, feel the feelings. Be kind to yourself as you feel the feelings. Don't expect yourself to be Superwoman or Superman in one go. Feel the feelings first, and then reach acceptance in your own natural order, your natural sequence of reaching acceptance. And when you reach acceptance, that's the point where you're like, okay, I'm going to make this work, and let's find the best way to make this work. And that's what I'm going to talk about in the third point of this video, what we do at that stage. So first point, be super, super, super kind to yourself. Be super, super, super loving to yourself. As you're loving to yourself, you're going to be loving to the world. As you're kind to yourself, you're going to be kind to others around you, wherever you are, whatever you're doing, you're needing to do, whether you need to go buy some vegetables or buy, your kindness to you is going to allow you to be kind and patient with others as well. So treat yourself the way you would, the way you would treat a little kid who's getting to experience something new, and offer yourself that kindness and that love, because it will come out in your interactions in the world at this juncture. And even though our interactions in the world, in the outer world, are quite limited, but a lot of our interactions are continuing, whether by video calls or, FaceTimes, or so we're still interacting with the world, and that kindness is going to filter through energetically in everything that you do at this stage. Whatever you post, whatever you share, that's your kindness to you is going to be the kindness that you share with the world, and where you encourage the rest of the world to have the ripple effect of that kindness. So the second tool I wanted to share with you in this video in terms of self-care, one of my favorite lessons from A Course in Miracles is I need do nothing. And when I read that lesson, I kind of had to reread it a few times, because I was like, oh, it was so alien to my upbringing, to my education, to anything, to my character. It was just like, I need do nothing. And there is so much power in that I need do nothing lesson, because it's when we're clear, we know what we want, we know what we want by knowing what we don't want. So we're clear, we're like continually creating more of our desires in our heart and in our system by realizing more of what we don't want. And so us knowing what we want, and if you've been working with me and you've been following me for a while, my work is all about that. Figure out what you want, because unless you know what you want, chances are, how are you going to make it happen? How are you going to create it in your world? So, of course, start off with knowing what you want. But during this phase, we're also going to be fine tuning a lot of what we want, because we're going to be learning, perhaps the hard way, a lot of things that we don't want. And I saw this post the other day on Facebook, and I thought it was brilliant, with someone saying, don't be in a rush to go back to what was. Use this time to sort of figure out if it's worth rushing back to. So this is going to be a time when a lot of things are going to be coming up for reassessment and for further understanding. So the I need to do nothing lesson is so powerful, because it allows the universe to step in and to co-create with you, by moving the energy, by inspiring you, by aligning you to do things that feel good, things that you feel pulled towards rather than pushed towards, and that pull, that energy moving you towards something is your intuition, because intuition works on appeal. And so when you're functioning from that place, it has a lot of force, nature's force, backing you up. And so the I need to nothing is great, because in your relaxing, you allow the ideas to come through. You allow yourself to hear them. You allow your intuition to whisper some of these genius ideas that are lurking within, but that we can't hear, we can't feel, we can't sense if we're in busy mode, and in trying to make it happen mode, and in go-getter mode. And that mode is has its own time and its own space. But I think during this time, I need do nothing approach is going to be very powerful for letting the ideas bubble up from the inside. And I feel those are such more powerful creations that we can bring into the world. Okay. Now, number three. So we've reached the acceptance stage. We've chilled. We've relaxed. We're allowing the universe to co-create with us through our energy and through what feels good to us and what inspires us. So now we're going to start to get a little bit more concrete. So we're going to make the best of this situation, and we're going to make things happen. So I've always worked on a 3 goal a day basis, and I think 3 goals a day is a very powerful model. So you can choose your 3 categories. I think 3 really good categories at this stage would be health, so health and wellness being one. Second, being family and friends. So that's the relationship part of your equation. And the third, being your career or creativity. So your project might be to landscape the garden. Your project might be to cook up some delicious meals. So it could be just a creative thing. Your project might be to use this time to write a book. Or you have work goals. You have your so that's the work and career one. The health and wellness is where you do whatever it takes to take care of the physical vehicle that is carrying your spirit, the part of you that's powerful, that's eternal, that's stronger than all of this. So when you take care of the vehicle, by sleeping, sleeping the hours that you need to, by eating nutritious, healthy food, by moving your body one way or another, by getting a little bit of fresh air. So this could be at the time where you choose a nature walk, so that you can have a moment, a meditative moment, while you also connect with Mother Nature, get some fresh air and get some movement in your body. You could choose this as your moment where you sit in your bubble bath and just pamper yourself, and and put oils and delicious scents and candles around you. So this is your just do one thing during the day that is really focused on your health and your well-being. And meditation is always a fantastic one in this category. If you just allow yourself 10-15 minutes a day where you just stay in silence and just breathe in and breathe out, Breathe in through your nose and exhale fully. That is so good for anything that's coming up, whether it's anxiety or worry or uncertainty. I mean, that is just such a calming moment. And as you get into the habit of just showing up for the practice, you will build those muscles. So, meditation is not something you might feel the effect of immediately. I did. I got such a big intuitive hit on my first meditation that I got hooked. But no, it doesn't happen like that for everyone. It's a practice, and even for me, if I don't do it for a few days, I feel the effect. I feel that I'm not in good shape, and so it's worth those 10-15 minutes because the practice builds up and allows you to deal with things, to deal with life in a much more present way and in a much more a powerful way. So you are in charge of your reactions because there's a lot of life that we're not in control of, but our reactions we are in control of. And as we practice and build a meditation practice, we develop more of that presence, and more of that non-reactionary, but rather intentionally choosing to react the way we would like to. So it's, for me, this is emotional intelligence, and I believe that comes from those moments that you allow yourself to sit in silence, because what comes up are the thoughts that are running the show. It allows you to reflect, to choose to do things differently when they come up again. So very, very powerful. You choose whatever is most helpful to you, and they're going to be different goals, because every day it's going to be a new goal for the health and wellness side. It's going to be a new goal for the family and relationships. So you might choose to call someone you haven't spoken to for a long time, and that might be a really nice moment. These days everyone's around you. We're all reachable, so it might be just a nice moment to reconnect with people you would have liked to be more in touch with, and your life has kind of kept you quite busy in the past. And so the family and friends bit is again your choice, your goal for the day, and the career and the creativity is yours. So as long as you have one of each every day, you're going to feel so satisfied because you're ticking off the list. And if these goals coincide with things that you're working on longer term, then you're going to be chunking it up. So you're doing little things every day, so moving the needle towards where you're wanting to go, and you'll be surprised. However long this takes us, you would have ended up by little small movements towards what you actually want. You will end up, however long this takes, you'll end up with quite a chunk done. And that's how we get to goals, because it's all little mini steps that just add up and add up and add up. That's how you get to the end result. So so to recap, make sure that you take the time to feel whatever it is you're feeling. Be gentle with yourself. Allow yourself to feel whatever you need to feel, and be kind to yourself. Be loving and kind, and support yourself the way you would want someone to support you. And from there, try the I need do nothing. Just, you know, connect to yourself, connect to your higher power, a power of your own understanding, and connect to whoever you choose to, your angels, the universe, life, God. How, you choose what feels good to you, the power that creates rainbows and stars and lets a little seed become a tree and lets a little embryo become a baby, that power that creates great things and so much beauty in the world. And this power that's, in an interesting way, watching, kind of caging us indoors now while the dolphins are swimming in canals in Venice again, while the canals are clear. And so, this might be Mother Nature trying to catch its breath while we catch ours as well. So second thing, you're going to practice the I need do nothing. And third, once you have reached a stage of acceptance with this state and you're feeling ready to take it on, clarify your goals and go for like next quarter goals. We're just starting April now, so choose your goals for this quarter, and then begin the little mini steps in 3 categories. And you could try health, relationships, and career, and choose one goal in each category every day, and go for it. And when you're choosing the goals, really choose them day by day. So wake up in the morning. I love to just kind of put my hand on my heart and say, so what's the most important thing for me to do, for me to get done today? Really connect with you, because sometimes when I've chosen the goals before and then the next day, I know my intuition doesn't want to do that. It would rather do that. And sometimes because I've already planned it, I want to stick with it because I'm a list maker. I like to tick things off the list. But that's not the energy that we want, because in real life, in usual life, we're all in this sort of yang energy of getting things done. This is our moment to be in yin energy, and yin is much more connected to nature and to our energy, and it's a much more creative and intuitive energy. So this is a good time to connect to this energy, because by the end of this period, you might be amazed by what you've actually come up with in terms of self-understanding and in terms of clarifying goals and desires and where you want to go with your life. So use this time, use this opportunity as a chance. Say, life is giving you this opportunity to go inwards. So we might not be able to go out, but we definitely can go inwards. And that's where the power is right now. So I hope this video was helpful. And if you need help with the meditation practice, you know that I have a wonderful meditation in my free goodies. So come on over to rania.world, grab that. It's also a great energy shifter. So at any moments you're feeling a bit fearful, you're feeling a bit anxious, it's a great interrupter of that, because I help you refocus your mind on what it is you're actually wanting to create, big picture stuff, bringing the vision out to life. So I love this meditation. Everyone who's enjoyed it has really benefited from it. So I know you're going to love it too. So come and grab it. And I'm wishing you gentle days. I'm wishing you moments that will, with hindsight, as we look back on later on, you'll feel super, super grateful for. And I trust life. I believe that everything's happening for our highest good. And I think there's going to be some magic out of this. There's going to be some real gold in this time. And so, be kind to yourself and be kind to the world. I'm sending you so much love, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Take care. Bye bye.